This video is going to be about how to sell anything that has a long purchase time frame. What's going on, guys? Nick Friel here, founder of Media Simplified. We are a digital marketing agency that's helped over 800 clients in the last 8 years. We've been a 7-figure agency going on for the last 5 years. And my goal with these videos is to help other SMMA agencies and or other mortgage, real estate, loan officer clients scale and grow their business using digital marketing, automations, systems and processes, and all of the core principles we have here at Media Simplified. So I'm excited for this video. This video is going to be about how to sell anything that has a long purchase time frame. So this pertains to, mortgage brokers or real estate agents or private money lenders that maybe they start the sale process today and they're not going to get paid for 2, 3, 6 months due to the nature of their industry. I think when a lot of people think of sales, they think of kind of Grant Cardone style, sign on the dotted line and it's a done deal. When realistically, a lot of sales, especially when you're playing in a ball game like private money lending or mortgage or real estate, where the numbers are much higher, the sales commissions are much higher, sometimes it's going to take 2, 3, 6 months to get paid out. With that being said, it's good to have that sales rapport and be able to influence people on the spot to get them to take those necessary actions. But as you know, if you're a lender or a real estate agent or anything like that, regardless of what that person says today, there's a million things that could go wrong during the rest of the sales process where we end up losing that deal. So this video is going to be about not only how to sell more, but how to sell more efficiently and make sure you're getting as many prospects as possible from that lead stage all the way to that stage where they're actually closing. And I'm not going to tell you a bunch of ridiculous sales lines of how to try to get there. I was a big Grant Cardone guy myself. Big shout out to him. He helped me a lot with sales in our agency, but this isn't that type of video is all I'm saying. This is going to be more so the structures and processes on how to make sure you're getting as many people from the start line to the finish line and you're getting paid more often. So step 1 is literally sit down and draw it out. What is the client life cycle or the client sales journey like with you? So I'll use our agency, for example. When we're trying to sell a new mortgage broker or a loan officer or a lender of any sort, usually they become a lead first, whether that's through paid traffic, organic, referrals, or we did some cold outreach and they responded. First, they're pretty much becoming a lead saying, hey, I'm interested in chatting. Then from there, they're setting an appointment. So they're actually getting on our calendar, whether it be texting us back and forth, calling in. From there, we're doing a call 1. So that's what's like a filtering call. We make sure that they're the right type of client, they're the right fit for us, they have the budget, they have the intent and everything. And if that's the case on the call 1, we'll get on the demonstration. Once they get on the demonstration, some are ready to go, some are not, need to do their research. From the demonstration, we have a little bit of nurturing, and then we have the actual closing process where the person gets onboarded and actually into the system and becomes a client. That's the first thing you need to do is draw out kind of a rough timeline or life cycle of what your client goes through from lead to set to docs, whatever the case may be. Lay it out. You don't have to have everything super granular, but make sure you have the big key components of that life cycle, where people fall off, where you're spending your time. So you have a basic structure. So once you have that basic structure laid out, I want you to go through and be bipartisan about this and decide what parts of that structure you are absolutely necessary for. Meaning you don't have somebody else that can just take over this part of the sales process. It's really important that you're there because of the information you have or the expertise, the license, or whatever the case may be. Those parts of the sale are the ones that you can't give up. There's nothing we can do about that. And we can really double down on you doing those parts of the sale for right now. On the flip side of that, what parts of the sale can we automate? So perfect example for our agency, the demo and the close and the onboarding. Like that's really important that either myself or one of our main salespeople do, because they have the crucial information that's needed to get the client the demonstration, get them into the system and everything. So that's something that we have to do. But as far as following up with leads, as far as even doing the call 1 and filtering calls, like those are something that we were able to outsource to somebody because it's not so crucial that they know all the ins and outs of the sales process. They need to know the script, and we can find those parts of the sales process that we can either automate with CRMs or technologies, and then the parts that we can automate or outsource to other people for a small fee or a cut of the commission, whatever the case may be. But that's step 2. Lay out what's necessary for you to do and what things can we automate with technology and or outsource. All right, so now we have a full system laid out and we know what we're going to be doing. We know what we're going to be automating and outsourcing. Now we want to look at what are the strong points and the weak points of this system. Where is everything going really well? Where are we losing people? So for example, if you're a mortgage broker, I know it's very common for a lead to come in. They're very excited. They set an appointment. They get on with the broker and kind of do the call one filtering. Then from there, they fill out an application. So now they're kind of taking that next step and they've actually filled out an app. And over the next 30, 40, 60 days, the broker loses touch with them. So that's an area that you really need to figure out, like where are we losing people and where are the weak points in our business that people are fizzling out and not getting all the way to the finish line. So if you're a broker in that scenario, I'd say that's where we need to focus our time, is the weakest point in the chain, and strengthen that. So what we could do is put in automations or reminders. Your LOS system a lot of times will have the ability to make sure if it's been 15 days since they've gotten us that document back, that we send them out an outreach, maybe make a call, but having automations and things in place so that it's not going dry and desolate in that time frame where they're post-application, pre-close. It's really great to kind of strengthen those parts of the sale. And now you have an actual system where they're getting from lead to appointment to call to documents or into the system and then eventually into close. And even a poorly structured system is better than no system. I'll tell you that right now. So get a system in place, even if it's loose and roughly thrown together. That's a starting place that you can iterate and make better. So once you have even a rough draft of your system, then we want to figure out what are the numbers that our sales process entails. So when I say the numbers, I mean, how many calls do we have to make? How many touch points do we have to make to get a certain amount of responses? Out of those responses, how many turn into actual appointments? From those appointments, how many people actually turn into real call ones? How many of those call ones turn into people that are qualified and actually get onto the demo? How many of those demos actually turn into a close? And once you know those numbers, even roughly, we know what we need to do to push the lever. So if 10 calls gets us 5 appointments and we talk with 3 people and 2 get a demo and 1 closes, then we know for every 10 leads, we should get about 1 close, or 10 calls gets us about 1 close. So with that, if we want to get 2 closes based on our system, all we need to do is make sure we're getting 20 calls and 10 conversations, 5 appointments, 3 demos, 2 closes, so on and so forth. So we have that lever that we can push down once we know our numbers, and you can't really know your numbers until you have a system structured of some sort. So that's what I want you to do. This video was made in hopes that it would motivate you to go out, create a system for yourself, even just start documenting the system that you already have in place. You may find that you already do have somewhat of a system in place and all it needs is some fine tuning. Follow these steps, get a system, lay out the stuff that you need to do versus the stuff you can automate and outsource, lay out the strong points and the weak points, focus on those weak points and make sure we're strengthening those points in the sale. Once you have that rough draft of a system, figure out what the numbers are. And then once you have your numbers based on how many touch points it takes to get to X amount of closes, you can push that lever up and down to reach your desired close rate. And ultimately, that will tell you how to get from where you're at to where your next goal is. And that's my goal for you. I hope this video helps you reach those sales goals that you're going after. I know being in a sales game where the time frames are really long and you lose a lot of closes, it can be really debilitating. Sometimes it can be discouraging. So I hope this video motivates you to go out, get some systems in place, and make sure you don't lose anybody else that you shouldn't, and you start closing more deals in 2024. My name is Nick Friel, founder of Media Simplified. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Every little bit of support helps, and we will see you on the next one.